Is your boss not impressed with your presentations? कैसे होगा if you will still use old boring techniques to make charts in your presentations? Like this? Boring. But don't worry, it's time to transform those boring charts into stunning pieces that have the right information to impress your boss. Imagine something like this, right? In this video, I'm going to show you techniques to create beautiful, powerful, information-packed charts that is going to take your presentation from zero to hero. Let's get started and give your presentation the glow up it deserves. So suppose this is the information that you have on which you have to make a chart. This is a sales information for a company on that sales t-shirts, hoodies and socks. So let's create a chart on this. Let's start with the fresh presentation. I've already inserted a new page into this PowerPoint. And then in the insert option, you have to go into the option of charts. And here you select the line chart. So supposingly I selected the first one itself. Okay. And here you can just update your information. And then you can see that your chart gets updated. But as I shared, this is such a boring chart. It doesn't have any life. It doesn't tell me anything. So this is the chart that we are going to amp up and make it a powerful tool of information. So let's start. So here if you see on the screen, there's an option which is called chart elements. When you click on it, there are a lot of options that you can see. So there are certain informations on this chart that we don't really need. It is not necessary. And it makes the chart a little more cluttered, like this t-shirt, hoodies, socks, all this that is written is not very much visible. So we are going to remove and make it blank, and then we are going to upgrade it. So here first, I don't need this title because I don't need this title, like who sees chart titles anyways. So we'll remove this and we will remove the legend as well. So now this is a blank chart that we're going to work on. Now normally you will not create a chart, it will be part of your presentation, and your presentation would be following a certain color scheme or a theme. So it is very necessary that when you are inserting all these things like charts, they also follow the same theme or the same color scheme that you've already used in your PowerPoint. Now, if you are making this from your presentation, it will already have the color scheme that you are using, but in my case, it doesn't have it. So I'm going to pick and choose the colors from another PowerPoint presentation that I already made, and here also you will learn a very quick and a very nice trick that I love to do. So on one screen I have this chart that we are updating, and on the other I already have the other one opened which has my color scheme. So we are going to just quickly pick the colors so that it remains cohesive. The first orange color, that is fine. This one I want to copy the color. So what I'm going to do is just click on this line, and here and you get this option of format. So go into the format, and here you see this line color. So you have to just go, and here your option, you have to pick the eyedropper. Now once you pick the eyedropper, this is basically a function that helps you to pick colors from anywhere. You have to click on it, okay? Keep clicking on it, and then while you are clicking, move to the other slide where you want to pick the color. So here you will see that it has started picking up the color. So this is one color, this is another one, the brown one, and this is the violet purplish color. So let me choose this one. So whenever you want to choose, just leave your mouse. Once you leave your mouse, you will see that your color has been copied on this line. Okay, let's just do it again. And for this one, for example, you want the third color also to be cohesive. Again, do the same thing. Format, you're already there. Click on eyedropper and then click on it. Use your mouse. Go slowly to the color that you want and then release. So see, now all these colors are cohesive to the scheme that I am using in my presentation. Now let's quickly move to the next steps. Just like we have to ensure that our color scheme is cohesive, we have to also ensure that the text is also cohesive. It overall amps up the look of your overall presentation. So here the text that is appearing, which are these numbers. So let's also go ahead and change it. So whatever is your text type, you can just go and select it. From, in my case, I want to select Montserrat. Okay, so this seems nice. Montserrat medium is what we are going to go with. So here just go and select it. So already the font looks a little better. So first we want to just reduce the size of your chart a bit, because obviously we don't want your just the chart to take the entire space. अब इसमें add करते हैं हम excess title. This is for example the sales number. So you write sales here, and then again we are going to use the same font. Maybe let's use the orange color, this one, and let's bold it. And then you can just Control D and copy this and then move it to your other axis. And here you can just change it to ears. You want it to be center line, then you can just go and click on the center line option. Okay, now we want to explain what all of these line charts mean and what all of this represents. So for example, for this specific business, if there are 3 categories of goods that they were selling that we saw. So one was t-shirt, one was sweatshirt, and one was socks. So we are going to use icons to explain that so that it's visually beautiful and informative as well. So what you're going to do is, in the option of insert, एक option होता है icons. Just go and click on that. And then go and search, for example, t-shirt. So here you can see that there is a t-shirt. So we are just going to insert that. There are multiple type of icons that you can see. You can choose as per your liking. So let's go ahead and use the fill one, because in this you can fill the colors actually, so it looks better. So we are going to just use it and then just move it and put it next to the line graph it represents. Now let's do it the same for the other options. The next one we had, I think, was a sweatshirt. So let's find if we have a sweatshirt. Okay, let's just take this one. Again, we can color it in the same color of your line graph. So let's go ahead and choose the color that we had chosen, this one. Shape it and then just move it next to your line graph. Okay, now let's do the last one, which is the socks. Alright, so now we want boxes where I can explain all of these, what it means for all of these charts, and then just give a little more information so that it makes that impact. So just go and insert a shape. Just pick a rectangle, adjust it a bit. Okay, here again, then we want to use the same options, color scheme. Okay, so first one we are going to do an orange. So in the shape format, you're just going to go and use the shape fill option and choose the color that we had for this one. Now again, you want to go into insert icons, search for a top. So we are going to use a line one this time, because since the rectangle is already filled, so उसमें दोबारा से fill वाला option दिखेगा ही नहीं. So let's go and use the line one. Now we want to add some information like the sales improved, sales decreased, or whatever indent that you want to add here. For that, we are just going to insert a text box inside of this, and you can write, just use the same font, make the size a little bigger, sorry. Okay, and now you can also add another information showing if the sales increased or decreased. For that, you can just go and insert another arrow which you can find in the shapes. So for example, if the sales have increased, you can use an arrow up, or you can use an arrow down in case of a decrease, or if it's remained the same, there's an arrow called left right, you can use that. So here in this case, for example, we are showing that the sales have increased. So you can just go and insert it an arrow here. You can adjust the shape and the size. Now since an increase normally would be indicated by a green color, so that's what I'm going to use. So whosoever is the audience can quickly make out that the sales of your this product, which is a t-shirt, has increased in the year. And then you can also add by what amount it has increased. You can keep adding the information that you think is relevant. In this shape, you don't want an outline, so you can just go and say no outline. That looks better to me. If you want an outline, you can just go and use an outline. So now that we are done with one of the products, we don't need to do this entire thing again. What you can do is first just go and group it up, right click, group, and now you can just do a Control D. So what this does is it creates another exact copy of this. Okay, now you can go and ungroup this. So same, you have to right click and just go and ungroup. Same for the other one, go and do an ungroup. Now you can make the changes as you need it. Now we want to make this color again the same as the line. So we're just going to go and select the color that represents this product. Okay, so in this case, this is a sweatshirt. So just go ahead and change the name to sweatshirt. Now again, we want to go into icons and search for a shirt. This time again, we'll use a line one. Okay, again, then you have to go and graph fill. You have to use white color. Okay, so this one is also done. and we're moving to the last one. So first go and change the color, change the icon. So now you have to go and search for socks, just insert it. Now a lot of times what happens is ये आपके objects इधर उधर हो जाएंगे and then you will not be able to move it. For example here it happened. So I'll quickly show you a trick. So home में जाना है, select का एक option होता है, selection pane में जाना है. Okay, here you can see जितने भी आपने objects, जो भी इसमें आपने shapes डाली हैं, सब दिख रही हैं. So what you can do is just go and select which option is this. So वो वाला आपका select हो जाएगा. So once you've selected this object, आप इसको तब इसको move करो के अपनी सही पोजीशन पे ले आइए. A lot of times these graphics go towards the back. आपको इनको फ्रंट में लेके आना है. This object has to go. तो आप इस ये जो आपका रेक्टेंगल है इसको आप सेंड टू बैक कर दीजिए. Then you can easily edit this one. Okay, now we'll quickly just go and change the color of this one. We'll do a white color on this. Now you can just rename to socks. And for example, in this year the socks did not move and there was no growth, there was no slope. So you say for example it is 0%. So here you don't want an up arrow, you want a left right arrow. So we'll just go and insert a left right arrow. उसके लिए insert में जाना है, shapes में जाना है. Here you will see a left right arrow. Just click on it, come here and create it. Okay, and now you can choose whatever color you think is appropriate. For this one I'm going to keep it a little gray. One trick that I want to show you is, for example, when you open this selection pane, you can actually go and rename these graphics that you are using. For example, ये sweatshirt है, you want to say that this is not graphic 34, this is sweatshirt. So you can do that. So what happens is जब आप बार बार यही slides बनाते हैं या इसी slide पे काम करते हैं, it's easier for you to understand कि कौन से वाले को आपको चेंज करना है. यू डोंट हैव टू फाइंड कि 45 कौन सा है, 55 कौन सा है. यू डोंट नो दैट, राइट? सो यू जस्ट कैन गो एंड change the names of these graphics. Okay, so we are almost there. Now all that is left is to add a heading to this graph. So let's just say so we'll go ahead and insert a text box and add a heading. So basically this is a sales growth chart. So for this one we want to use a Montserrat only, but maybe a bigger font for this one. So let's do Montserrat extra bold. Make the size a bit bigger, this one. Okay, and then you can either add a subtitle or you can add important information that kind of is the highlight for this chart, so that somebody who comes on this slide reads that information first. So for example, you want to say that there is a new launch. Out of these three, there was a new launch which kind of improved the sales for the company. So then you can put that information here. So for example, in this case, we say that the t-shirt was a new launch. Okay, and that helped the overall sales of the company by X%. Okay, so whatever is the case here. So you can just add these kind of details which are the overall summary and something that is very important for your audience to see, and you can add these kind of details here. Again, we want to use the same fonts. That's why I'm just going ahead and using the Montserrat medium in this case. Now you can actually go ahead and maybe make it a little smaller so that it can fit in one line. Okay, and then you can color change the color also of this, again to be cohesive. Okay, one thing you want to do is that ensure that all of these shapes, the rectangle shapes that are here, are perfectly aligned. So what you have to do is select all of these shapes together and then group them. Okay, and then you have to go into the shape format and then you want to go and align middle. What this is going to do is it's going to perfectly align this object into the center of this slide. Okay, now you can use the shortcut key Ctrl+Shift+G to ungroup all of these, or again use Ctrl+G to group these. I will always suggest to leave these as a grouped object because that makes the editing much more faster. Okay, so we are done. This is how your chart slide looks now as compared to the older slide that you were using with a very boring chart. So this chart is colorful, it's fun, it has a lot of information that you want your audience or your boss to see and really be wowed. So make sure that you're using these tips and creating the charts this way from next time. If you like the video, make sure that you subscribe, hit on the notification button so that you don't miss amazing content that actually helps you at work. See you next time.